Good time zone. A happy birthday to all of those around the world. I have prepared the necessary things for today's stream. Actually, I do need to pull up thing though, and there we go. The Twitch side of things says that the stream's unstable. Every other side of things, local, YouTube, says it's fine. So Twitch, I think, is having internal issues. I don't know if it's actually affecting anything, but keep that in mind. Something's going on, I guess. I don't know. Hopefully nothing. Hopefully nothing's actually going on. But we are here with Such is the Joy of Our Reunion. The next event in the Toy sibling storyline. How many has it been? This is the sixth one. Yeah, Nian, Dusk, Ling, Dongye, Ju. Yeah, so we're at 6 out of 12 of the siblings. Crazy how far we've come. Looks like there's not an actual update on the server. So, fair enough. We're gonna be polling today for at least you. And maybe Blaze. Just because, I mean, she looks cool. I've been getting a lot of, my recommendation feed on YouTube is full of videos saying how bad Blaze is. Every title, every thumbnail is like, Blaze sucks. Blaze is the worst. We hate Blaze. I've not watched any of them. But apparently, at least the Arknights character reviewer YouTubers, they don't like Blaze. Which is, I guess, sad. He is a primal caster, which still relatively new branch. There's Nymph, which is the other 6-star. She's pretty good, but is dependent on Arturia, I'm pretty sure. And that's kind of, I guess, the thing with the primal casters, is that they're kind of dependent on someone else to help them actually do elemental damage, because they don't just really do it themselves. I've not used a single primal caster. I didn't get nymph, so yeah, I really don't know how they work. But from the little bit I've seen here and there and read, that seems to be kind of the consensus. I know that nymph really required Arturia. I think, did she get a module that I think made her less dependent, maybe? I can't remember. So, you know, I don't know what's going on with Blaze, but maybe it's a similar sort of thing. I have not heard any problems with you, but I also not. I've also heard. I have heard though that his second skill is his best one. Third skill is more kind of gimmicky. Now he is a what are they called? Primal? Are they primal defenders? Primal protectors. And now primal protectors, we only have one other Phile. And I've heard great things about her, actually. I've heard she's actually a really good 5-star. Kind of maybe slept on, because I mean I don't see too many, I don't like hear much about her, but when I have heard about her, people are like, yeah, actually pretty good. So you might also be pretty good, hopefully. But I'm a collector of the Soy siblings, so and not all of them are good. Cough, cough, Dusk. But hey, Dusk did get a specialized integrated strategy module in this update, which means that maybe she will be really good for integrated strategies now. I'm not sure what it actually does. Let's see. New trait, attacks an additional target. An AoE multi-target is, I mean, that's pretty good. Level 2, the first attack after deployment will summon a feeling lasting 25 seconds at the target's location. In integrated strategies, feelings gain 1 shield when summoned, and attacks deal 100% attack as arts damage. So they have a shield, which allows them to take a free hit. They deal 100% attack as arts damage. What did they do before? They did deal arts damage. Some 100% attack as arts damage. Is that like a when they're deployed they just do 100% attack as arts damage? Is that what that's saying? I guess so. They just do like a burst real quick. I guess so. Level 3. The additional effect: when Dusk is in the squad, all operators summon a feeling at the target's location on the first attack. Now, okay, that's kind of cool. All operators will summon a feeling on their first attack. Just in the squad, doesn't even have to be deployed. Kind of neat. Kind of neat. Doesn't seem like as crazy as like Rosmontis or Angelina. Maybe more on par with like Counterfeit. But a multi-target AoE, that in and of itself feels pretty good, because one of the things with AoE casters, splash casters, is that they're so slow. At least back in the day, I know that was always a thing. I still don't use them. And that might be, you know, that's kind of maybe leftover bias from the olden days. But there is just better casters that deal AoE damage that aren't splash casters, right? So, you know. I mean, the first splash caster we've gotten in, I think, years was the collab with Dungeon Meshi, so even they weren't really making splash casters. So multi-target on her, 2 AoEs going out at the same time. Sounds pretty nice. The feeling thing's interesting. I'm not sure what the 100% attack thing is. I think that's just like a summon attack, I guess. But everyone being able to summon a summon, that's pretty good. Especially if you get summon like bonus or collectibles, right? To buff them even more. You just get a bunch of free blockers on the field for every character. Pretty much, you double your amount of operators on the field. Temporarily, at least. Nifty. Nifty. Now, Unekti's got a reclamation algorithm. For the people who still play that. Which is new trait. In reclamation algorithm can restore SP while having the effect of a provision. When the skill is activated, attracts enemies over a wide area to the unit's location. Interesting. So she can bypass her limitation as a duelist by not restoring SP if she eats food, and then she's a taunt to attract enemies to the location, which is honestly, in that game mode, that's pretty useful. Level 2, her unit's SP recovery is increased when blocking enemies. In reclamation algorithm, the SP recovery increases to 0.4 seconds. She gains an additional block during skill duration and can attack all blocked enemies. And blocked enemies have 20% physical fragility. Physical fragility, that's just a new mechanic entirely. Art's fragility is the only thing that's existed until now. And level 3 gets 40% physical fragility and +2 block. So she becomes a full-on tank when her skill is activated. And an AoE. That's pretty good. Pretty good. It'd be really good if it wasn't in Reclamation Algorithm. If you could use it in integrated strategies, actually that'd be really good. But like, still seems pretty decent, actually. We also have Earthshaker Guard modules. I don't have Earthshakers. We have Lin and Jola receiving their Y module. Which I don't care about Lin, but Jola I did update for this update. For this event, Jola's Y module. When he's defeated, he's not retreat and instead will cover 30% of his HP. Interesting. Now let me switch over. They're playing the thing in the update now. Although they'll probably play it again, but there you go. Level 2 attack increases, has a 20% chance to restore SP and increase attack to 110%, and an increase to a 75% chance is below 50% HP. And level 3 increases that chance to 80. Interesting. His other module is giving him Sanctuary when below 50% HP, and increased attack rate and SP recovery of his tenacity trait. I don't know enough about Zola, I'm not sure which one's better. I'll have to look into that. This cinematic's interesting because the implications, which I guess makes sense, but it's kind of goofy, is that Yu's power is grease. Like you can just control grease.
Arknights.
Let's get into this. This is like the second or third event in a row where we've not really had maintenance. I'm not sure how they've managed to do that. Did they front load a bunch of events at some point?
Yo, Doctor. You had lunch yet?
Great timing. Anchoring a future voyage medal and one other medal. What were those medals? 0.5 anniversary, perhaps? Day 1. Happy anniversary. Wow. In the kitchen at this hour, Doctor. Feeling peckish? Grab a bowl and I'll make something for you. Almost done. This is the last dish. You'll have a meal to remember tonight. Or I can go by. Hear about the party. Don't worry. I'll be there. I promised the kids I'd perform a sword dance for... Who's the kids? Promised the kids to perform a sword dance for them. Just give me a few minutes. You can wait with me if you want. What am I waiting for? There it is. Snow. Or Jay. Remember this guy? Fancy Escalesis? Lungman's night market stays open now. You're looking up for a place to watch the fireworks. Give me a moment to let me close the stall first. There's a fine place by the river. I'll take you there. What is the add to blessing? Oh, I see it. We can get multiple blessings, okay. I have to click that. What was that, what were those medals I got there? Sailing a distant place, log in for 360 days. Definitely done that before. Log in for 1,000 days. I got them at the same time. Okay. I was like, it's definitely been more than 360 days. That's only 1 year, and I've been playing since year 1. I mean, I literally have the 5 years anniversary thing, so. Interesting. Okay. Added a retroactive medal. Fair enough. Now let's get these amazing skins. And get rid of all these, my goodness, so many notifications. Oh yeah, Closure says stuff that I noticed that. With both old charm and new tech support, the best restaurant in Bai Zhao is really something. I'm not gonna read all of them. just realized her sprite has like little like an animal on her head. That's interesting. This skin is one of the best skins they've ever made. New arrivals spring fest or feast. Outfit Shu wore during a feast held by her family. A beauteous purple robe across her shoulders. A silken skirt along her legs. Here a goddess lies, quietly watching the turning of the seasons. Equip that. Jola outfit, which is also a pretty good outfit. Also, live 2D, I didn't realize. Purchase. New arrivals, youthful journey. Outfit Zola wore when using the Tianxi Bureau's training grounds, integrated with elements of the Tianxi gown, enabling mobility, while highlighting his youthful spirit. He's so youthful. The bird's an interesting thing. He's not a bird. He's a snake. But, there's just like a blue bird. I'm not sure what that bird is. There's the almond one. I'm not a huge fan of the... I mean, it's fine. Not as good. The Binna one is cute. Only because of these animals. What is this? What kind of new beasts are these? I feel like they've mentioned some sort of sheep thing before, but I don't remember what they called it. New arrival, Prairie Pals. Outfit Bina wore on a field mission in the prairie. The traditional clothes serving as the base have been enhanced with modern innovations, making them lightweight without sacrificing cuteness. Also like the building that's just a stack of like dumpling trays. That's fun design. And I already have the better Chongya skin. That's Highmore. Didn't recognize her. Yeah, all these are repeats. Oh, she got Paradox Simulation. Cool. Also, Edit Assistant. Add Shoe. Where is she? Let's put her up. There she is.
Doctor, all life requires both sunlight and water to grow. While this potted plant seems to have its needs met, I don't think you've had your 10 cups of water yet today.
Not yet. Alright, so you is a Primal Protector, which blocks 3 and can inflict elemental injury. Talent 1, when blocking enemies, gains 25% Sanctuary. Blocked enemies receive 40% attack as arts damage, and 12% attack as burn damage per second. When there are, Talent 2, when there are at least 4 operators on the field, recovers 1.5 max HP as both HP and elemental injury per second. That's interesting. So when there are at least 4 operators, I assume including himself, usually how that works. So when there are 3 others, he just will recover HP. Skill 1, today's host, passive effect, becomes more likely to be attacked. Taunt, 70% HP increase, 70% defense increase. And every time you is attacked, deals 50% of use attack as burn damage to the attacker. That's just a passive effect. But it's a manual defensive recovery 30 seconds? What does activating the skill do? Is the passive effect only the taunt? Because the layout of that, if that's the case, the layout there is a little bit confusing. But I would assume it has to be, because otherwise why is there a timer on the skill? So it's not as good. I was gonna say like, oh, this is like a good skill for and I guess, I mean, it still is, but this is a good, like, you know, sort of like Hoshiguma tank sort of ranged attack drawing skill. Because a taunt makes it even, you may not have to worry about deployment order as much. But with Hoshiguma, she has the passive damage reflection constantly. This one has to build it up. Skill number 2 immediately deals 100 attack as arts damage to all surrounding enemies and teleports those ground targets that can reach you to his position. Gains +2 block, max HP plus 160%, attack plus 290%, and deals attacks now deal arts damage. The surrounding enemies is a barred range. So a square with an extra tile on each side. And will teleport all ground enemies to his position. Have another teleporting sibling. And that is, I've seen, is that seems to be like his main skill. So skill 3 though is an interesting one. Attack max HP plus 110%, attack 110%, defense 110%, grants effects of talent 2 to all operators on the field. Which would be, I assume, Misc markets dragons as well, so all operators will heal on the field. That's pretty nice. Creates a wall of fire spanning the entire field. Arts damage dealt by other allies that crosses the wall will deal an additional 10% of used attack as burn damage. Enemy projectiles passing through the wall have a 20% chance of being removed. So it's actually arts damage. So I knew that he had a wall that you could deal burn damage through. I thought it was anyone who attacked through it, but it's actually only arts damage who attack through it. So not as good in that regard. And 20% chance of removing projectiles, though. That's interesting. I did not know that either. 20% though is pretty low. But he's kind of cool. Now he is a dormitory and a trainer, apparently. When this operator is assigned to a dormitory, morale recovery of all operators. 0.06 for each fluid operator in the base, excluding assistants and activity room users. Caps at 4. So even though there's 6 of them, doesn't go to 6, only goes to 4. I don't really use that many Thoy operators in the base ever, so not really useful to me. When this operator is assigned to be a trainer in the training room, morale consumed per hour +1, and every worldly plight gives 1% specialization training speed, which I don't mess with those sort of things. They're usually not that good anyway. So, not excited for his base skills. And then we have Blaze here. Primal Caster, so deals arts damage and can inflict elemental damage, which is only with their skills. She has an elemental DPS and AoE tag. Melt Down. When an enemy triggers a burn damage burst, immediately deals 350% attack as elemental damage to that enemy and recovers 12% max HP. I assume that works for anyone's burn damage burst, right? So bobbing and like Wormy and stuff can help with that. Seems good to me. From the Ashes, when defeated, becomes downed instead and gains a 6,000 barrier. Cannot attack or be healed while down, but recovers 3% max HP per second. Once HP is full, revives and stuns nearby enemies for 5 seconds. Huh. That doesn't say it can only happen once. Does that happen every single time? I assume the catch is that she gets the barrier. If the barrier is destroyed, she then actually dies. And that's why it can happen as many times as possible, because she still has a chance to die. That must be it, right? Yeah, so there's no limit to how many times from the Ashes can be triggered, but it will not activate if the igniting spark takes lethal damage. Lethal damage being is defined as any damage that exceeds the target's current HP, or in other words, would reduce the target's HP to 0. Lethal damage will trigger certain effects depending on the calculation. How does that work? How does that make sense? What? Will not activate if takes lethal damage, but when defeated becomes down instead. That's weird. Blaze is invulnerable and cannot be targeted for a brief moment when from Ash triggers and ends. While downed, they're immune to stun and freeze and can still recover SP even though she cannot use skills. If her skill is activated when it's triggered, however, it will expire prematurely. Despite not normally being able to be healed, Spark can still be healed by a meltdown. Doesn't say anything about the barrier, but I assume it says it is immune, is briefly invulnerable at the start and at the ending, I guess. I must assume the barrier exists for a reason. It must be she can still be killed if the barrier is destroyed, but it doesn't say. So I'm not sure what the point of the barrier is. Does not activate if takes lethal damage, but it activates if she's defeated. It isn't all damage lethal? I'm not sure what that means, because in the lethal damage page says, is defined as any damage that exceeds the current HP, or in other words, would reduce HP to 0. And there's 3 calculations. On take damage, if incoming damage exceeds the current HP, even if it's non-lethal, the damage becomes lethal. Or do apply multiplier. If the incoming damage is non-lethal, it will leave the target at least 1 HP, otherwise the damage becomes lethal. And set HP internal. If the difference between the incoming damage and the target's HP is 0 or lower, the damage becomes non-lethal and will never reduce the HP to below 1. I don't know what any of this... I don't get what this means. I'm gonna have to see that in action to understand how that works, because it feels like it's kind of a mixed message. When defeated becomes downed instead, unless it's lethal damage. But when is it not? What is non-lethal damage? If she gets to 0 HP, isn't it always lethal? I don't know. Okay, well, interesting. And it doesn't say anything about the barrier mechanic, but I assume that's also if she'll die if it is depleted. I don't know. Okay. Skill 1. Select the operator with the highest max HP within range, dealing 70% attack as arch damage and 30% of that arch damage as burn damage to all enemies surrounding that operator for every second for 20 seconds. That's interesting. Within range. Definitely seems like you want to... I mean, so any sort of tank you want to pair with a tank if you're using that skill definitely is also like pair with you. Skill 2, attack range changes. This changes into a double square attack range with the corners missing. Attack interval increases attack plus 150% and attack 3 enemies at once. When attacking, loses 5% HP and sets a burning field at the location of the target. Enemies passing through will have reduced movement speed by 50% and take 35% of her attack as arts damage and 30% of that as burn damage. I mean, that seems cool too. Third skill, attack range changes. This turns into a, I would call it a cone. If you're, it sort of looks like a cone spread from like D&D. It's the standard sort of star shape of a bard, except it's not. She's not in the middle of it. She's on the edge of it, in one direction. So, hence the cone. Attack range changes. Attack 15%. Interval greatly reduces, and normal attacks now deal AoE damage. If the target is under the burst effect of burn damage, deals an additional 80% attack as elemental damage. Loses 3% of max HP every second. Skill activation grants 25 ammo, and whenever an enemy enters the burst effect of burning damage, gains 2 additional ammo. Skill ends when all ammo is used. Interesting. She is best of buds when this operator is assigned to control center. If an operator is conducting skill specialization in the training room, that operator's specialization training speed plus 5%. That's nice. Just a free extra 5% on anyone. She's an elite operator. And then also she's a power plant. as if power plant skills ever matter. I would use Best of Buds though. Honestly, she seems kind of cool. From Ashes seems weird. I'm not sure the technicalities behind that seem a bit weird. I'm still also, we have like, okay, so she does 3% as burn damage. Which builds up, right, and then explodes when it, so it builds up the modifier, the elemental injury, I think, is what it's called. And then does 7,000 elemental damage. Builds up burn damage. Skill 3 doesn't actually do burn damage. But if an enemy's under the effect of burn damage, she will deal 80% additional elemental damage to the target. But she does not do burn damage with this skill. So for this skill to really be effective, you need someone else to deal the burn damage. I can see why maybe that would be, some people would be not thrilled about that. But otherwise, besides those two caveats, I don't feel like she's terrible. Everyone's like, she's terrible. Everyone, as in what I keep getting recommended. She's terrible. Is she better than the current other best casters? Probably not. There's a new 5-star as well, a new agent. It's her name is Surfer. It's the Countess from Come Catastrophes and Vultures, or whatever the event's called. You know,
Hello, Doctor.
that character that showed up for like 2 seconds.
Worldwide's Advanced Recon Team. My primary duties involve intelligence gathering and pre-mission reconnaissance. If you possess any pertinent information, please don't keep it to yourself.
Advanced Recon Team. This character that showed up briefly at the end of that event and is spying on Jessica as she became a pioneer for her criminal sentencing. Because Jessica is a dangerous criminal.
Captain of Reserve Op Team A6.
I believe she
Orchid
steals
reporting in.
defense.
Are you the doctor? I look forward to working with you.
But I don't think she's...
I know I didn't do very well on my assessment, but I'll still do my best at my internship.
Of all the agents, I don't think she's like better or worse really than any of the other like 5 stars. Not really sure. I just know she steals the fence. I believe her one skill, I have to look at it. I think her one skill is like maybe slightly worse than Cantabile's, but it's like otherwise pretty much the same. I'm not sure what her talents are.
Popcar from Operation...
Alright, well, back to pulling. Oof. Back to pulling. Oof. Not as oof, though. Oh, it will use some of my tickets to avoid the cost of... That's cool. That's new. I guess I'll do that. I like that. Here we go.
Pleasure to meet you, Chief. I am Shaw of the... I'm Lava, a caster. Here to join you simply because I'm... Ta-da! I'm
Hi.
back! Yep, signing with my real name this time. Guju Wang. After stashing it away for so many years, I can finally write this name out in public. I'm still the same old me though, so just call me Blaze like you used to, Doctor.
Not exactly the same old. You're a caster now. Also, yeah, her name is Gu Ju Huang. Which, ZH in... I'm always confused on how ZH is supposed to be pronounced. For her, apparently, it's Ju. I don't know if it's always that, though, but... With my real name this time, after stashing it away for so many years. I wonder why she was stashed it away. I guess we'll learn, maybe, this event. Also, she's half Victorian, but I guess she doesn't have a half Victorian name.
Doctor, Rhodes Island has done so much for me. What can I say except...
Frostleaf, former mercenary. From now on? Reporting in! You must be the doctor. Call me... Popcar from Operation Reserve Team A6.
Good pull, though. Getting her that early. Very nice.
Ally, I salute you in true Snow Realm.
The way her face is drawn and her eyes, it looks like she's it looks like she's kind of like doing the dizzy emote or something. Like she just looks like she's really befuddled. So now we have to hope we can get you easily. And not get, you know, 12 billion of someone else.
Hi, I'm Spot from Operation Reserve.
It's that easy.
You must be the doctor.
This was a good gotcha day.
Do I send a visitor's log here? Alright. Logistics operator. Employment contract. 年前你又骗我
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. He didn't actually want to sign up. He was tricked. I don't think we can legally like employ him. I'm pretty sure we should void the contract. Like that's not a legal contract. He was tricked into signing it. That doesn't seem right. Good gotcha there. Nice, easy, relaxing, stress-free gotcha pulling, the best kind of gotcha pulling.
I'm Hayes.
Not being sniped, not being, you know,
Captain of Reserve Op Team A6.
stolen, robbed by some other operator
Reserve
who I will
Op
now
Team A6
despise
catapult
for
reporting
the
in.
rest of my life.
Hey.
Hello! I've never been in
Good
such
stuff.
a big mobile.
Reserve Op Team A6 catapult reporting in. Hey, I can tell you're hella different from that.
Hello! I've never been in such a big mobile facility.
Really the best kind. Now I have enough chips to E2 you immediately. Just happen to have a bunch of defender chips. Not sure about the caster stuff. There's been a lot of casters recently. I don't know what's going on with that, so. Yeah, skill 1 is just after deployment, generate some DP after each hit for 13 seconds. Passive skill. Simple. And her skill 2, she steals defense. And her talent is when there's no other operators in the surrounding 4 tiles when deployed, gain a single DP, which isn't that exciting. Yeah, so I think technically it's a her first one is a little bit worse because Cantabile gets camouflage. So I don't know, actually that's Cantabile's second skill is the camouflage. Her first one is also, I think, just a passive, yeah. So do you want defense or camouflage? I think camouflage is probably more useful most of the time. Let's try this boy out. We have 3 soy siblings as defenders now.
Maybe we should watch something else while we're eating.
At least they're cool defenders. Hopefully, you know, if we do end up getting all 12, I'm not sure how many we're going to end up getting. If we do end up getting all 12, or I guess 11 or whatever, technically, hopefully there's not a trend where most of them are defenders or something.
Bitter gourd is in season now. Deseeding, blanching, and adding it to the soup brings out the most flavor. Some find it too bitter, while others are absolutely in love with it. Palates differ, and sweetness or bitterness are unique to each individual.
Life lessons with you. Level him up to E1. We don't need to E2 him immediately. We'll do E1 just so we can get started, you know?
Maybe we should watch something else while we're eating.
And can I do have caster. I do have caster tickets or chips. I could E1 her at the very least. Nothing wrong with that. I'll do it. Hopefully she's not as...
You know I've pored over these battle records, studying them inside and out, so you don't have to drag me into a watch session, you know? Oh, wait, these are... No! Not the one where my tail caught fire! That's when I was totally green. I learned quick after that.
Surprised our own tail could catch fire.
Phew! Gave me a fright. I thought you were gonna talk about work. So, this means you think I'd make a good caster? Yay! That's an extra 6 hours of training for me now.
I'm still curious about how she becomes a caster. That hand still looks like it's not... Like, that doesn't look like a glove to me. That she has like an armband on it, but I don't think it's a glove. We'll see. I'm still thinking it might be some sort of Fahrenheit, like a simulation. We know that's a thing. She could get some Fahrenheit powers.
Doctor, you know I've pored over these battle
Which could
records,
make her into a
studying
caster.
them inside and out, so you don't have to drag me into a watch session, you know? Oh, wait, these are... No! Not the one where my tail caught fire! That's when I was totally green. I learned quick after that.
So many casters. So little time. Let's get into this. Is this the same cutscene? Yes, yes it is. Do you want to skip the story? That makes me feel bad. But I've already seen it. We already saw it. Such is the joy of our reunion. Savior at use. Flavor of food. Oh, we got a nice image of the city. This city, insane how big this city is. And the fact that it's a mobile city, a nomadic city. I underestimate how big nomadic cities can be. I mean, I know that like Xuchang has a mountain range built on it, but still, hearing it and then seeing a picture is a very different thing. It's incredible that they can move around. So, what happened last time? This is the 6th event for the Soy siblings, the Soy Farenmut storyline. I decided to try and shorten the summaries a bit and focus more on like the broader details of how it relates overall, because the more specific details in the previous event itself don't really matter as much. So, and I'm only going to really summarize the previous one, which was Here People Sow. But, you know, all the events have been building up on it. So, as part of Yen's 12 pagodas and 5 cities project, Nian and Dusk are sent to Da Huang to oversee the farming settlement's transition into a nomadic city. And we learn at this point that the 12 pagodas are actually vessels meant to keep the Soy siblings alive should the main body, Soy, be destroyed. Basically, I kind of see them as artificial Farenmuts. I don't actually know why there's 12. If we know at least one of the siblings is dead, so I'm not sure why we're building 12. But it could also just be called the 12 pagodas, but it could be one device. We only saw like technically one device, but I don't know if that was just one pagoda out of 12 or if that was the 12 pagodas. And it's called the 12 pagodas because there's the 12 siblings. I don't know. I'm not sure. Either way, that's what the 12 pagodas are. And the 12 pagodas are crucial to the national security of the country. Because if the main body of Soy is destroyed, then the siblings die with it, and all that they have created disappears. Which should be very bad, because siblings have helped create what Yin is today. Especially, I guess maybe some more than others. I mean, Nian like makes weapons and like makes the cities and stuff like that. Like she's the forger, right? Not sure what Ling ever did. But some of them disappearing would be really bad. Like Shu is the farmer. She's been working in Da Huang for centuries, farming the land, feeding the entire country. Now, the worry of Soy being destroyed has to do with the fact that it is soon going to probably be revived. And there are some factions within the Yinese government, including the Grand Commandant, who want to revive the Farenmut. And we actually learned at the end of the last event that the Grand Commandant helped the evil Soy sibling Wang escape, and was working with the Shanhuai Zhong during the human incident from the human event. Now Wang, or Wing, I'm not sure what his name is. We don't have a voice record of that, so I don't know. Himself intends to revive the main body of Soy. Only so that he can then subsume it and use the power to then revive their dead sibling, Jay. Or J, I'm not, okay, I don't know. They haven't said it, so I don't know. I don't know how it's pronounced. Most of the siblings are technically against Weng's plan, although Shu does give him special seeds that will help him if he hasn't, quote, veered off the path. The only sibling we do know that is directly supporting him is Ji. Ji is a merchant with the powers to weave cloth into anything, including living beings. And he has been weaving a tapestry, detailing scenes from all across Yin, which is why he's in Dao Huang. It's his last piece that he has to weave. Now, the best I can tell, because I don't feel like it's explained very well what the implications are for this, but the best I can tell is that by weaving all of Yin into cloth, he effectively gains control over the country's fate. Like, I'm not sure if it's the sort of thing of like, well, now if he dies, all of Yin would like disappear because he like turned Yin into his creation. I'm not really sure. But at the end of the event, he gives the tapestry to Wong. So it might, or it even seems that it's important for fighting Soy. And that's pretty much like that's the big important things from the previous event. Zola was there. He was there because he got suspended from his job. At the end of the event, he's reinstated as a candle holder and is told by Loisy to go to Rose Island. I don't think it will come up, but it might come up that, like, the trouble Ji was causing in Dao Huang also had to involve the collapsals, because Dao Huang was located in the north, and it was right next to the, like, border to the demonic corruption. And also we learned that Shu, and we see Shu had to use her special powers to save the city, which resulted in her being erased from everyone's memories. And this is a thing that she has done multiple times over the centuries. So no one ever actually knew that she was living there for centuries and centuries, because she's had to, like, purify the land, which made everyone forget who she was. And she did it again in the event, but this time it has allowed her to be free. Like, she's no longer needs to take care of Dao Huang. He's leaving it And that's what happened last time. Chrysanthemum tea with dried tangerine peels. Dried orange peels left to age for 40 years, in the same cup with freshly picked chrysanthemum. Do the flavors of yore stand up to a careful tasting? Sir, are you saying such a remarkable individual actually existed in the history of Great Yin? Yes. Cataloging books, organizing texts, promoting education. If she did so much for all life under heaven, why does no one remember her? Or even know her name? Sir, you can identify this character. I don't believe I've ever encountered it before. It's not that no one remembers her, it's simply that her true name is one lone word. It's simply that her true name in one lone word was never recorded in the history books. Isn't it a pity? Her pen captured Great Yin's long history and vast expanse, yet not a single page in historical records bears her name. Sir, if I were to complete all the missing records, do you think I could reconstruct her image? 40 years ago. I guess I have to click myself. April 1st, 1062. Sir. It's raining so hard out there. Why not come inside, have a pot of nice warm tea, and wait out the rain? No need. This rain won't be stopping anytime soon. I should keep moving. Some people want the rain to stop, some hope it carries on. The umbrella vendor is smiling from ear to ear, but the passers-by are downright miserable. A fascinating thought. Friend, you should take a moment to rest. I was asked to remind you, the road ahead is rough and uneven. A certain someone worries you might misstep and get your shoes wet. Please follow me, sir. Your friend is already waiting for you inside. Hi, Minister, it's been a while. No, these days you're the Grand Tutor. It has been a long time indeed, since we bid each other farewell in human. I expected to meet the soy regulator. It feels weird to say soy now that I know how it's actually pronounced. Still feels weird, it's been so long pronouncing it as sui. I expected to meet the soy regulator and the Ministry of War first upon this return to the capital to deliver my report. That's why I arranged to meet with you in advance. His Imperial Majesty has passed. When? 2 weeks ago. I think if His Majesty had died natural causes, you would not be coming to see me about it. Does this mean... The man sitting in the shadows holds out his hand. A black Wei Chi stone rests in his palm. "60 years ago, he escaped from that ancient temple and turned himself into 181 black Wei Chi stones, which scattered across the lands. Their current whereabouts are unknown. 2 weeks ago, the soy regulator found the stone in the capital." What has he done? I do not know. The only thing I am certain of is that he could not have entered the Forbidden City. Someone must have gone out to meet him. Investigating this person's identity would be sensitive. His machinations likely will not involve others. I shouldn't have come to you today, but when the convict caused all this turmoil before, you were the one who subdued him. Grand Master, do you know anything of this? Not a thing. I have not seen him since the incident. Then I believe you, Grand Master. Do you need anything from me? Do not linger here. Return to Human at once. Ursus is in constant turmoil, and there is a changing of the guard in Human. We must not allow morale to be shaken. I will handle the soy regulator and the Ministry of War myself. It is precisely because you are not entangled in this affair that I entrust you with such a crucial task. Understood. I will see the soy regulator continue to investigate the Wei Chi matter in secret. During this crucial time, you should remain out of sight, Grand Master. We did not meet here today. Regarding the true Lung, how is His Highness Wen Wu? At this moment, he should be... Yen Wu. Yen Wu was the one who went to His Imperial Majesty on the night he died. Yen Wu as in Wei Yen Wu? There's the Grand Commandant. Your Highness, 28 members of the traitor's family have been imprisoned. But after we checked the list, we found there was a single individual missing, an infant just a month old. The Imperial Guard searched the Grand Preceptor's mansion thoroughly today, but found no traces of the baby. Voice behind the curtain. A newborn could not have run off by herself. Someone went through the trouble to whisk her away. Your Highness need not worry, the Imperial Guard will find her. Huh. Earlier today, the Minister of Justice requested a meeting. He seeks His Highness's advice on a series of cases. Handle them according to the laws of Yen. I'll tell him. Where is my elder brother now? According to our reports, he left the capital just half an hour ago. Some of the Imperial Guard have defected with him.
The soldiers guarding the city did not dare stop them without orders to do so.
Indeed, I never ordered him, nor ordered them to keep him in Bai Zhao. He was unwilling to stay and left everyone behind. How many Imperial Guardsmen went with him?
18.
Even after committing such an unforgivable crime, my brother can still send the Grand Preceptor to die in his place. He can still command the unwavering loyalty of those 18 death sworn. How many courtiers are still devoted to him? How many still hope that he will retake the throne?
Yet it is your highness who now sits on the throne, not him. Therefore, it falls upon your highness to ensure Yin's eternal prosperity. All castes of Yin may afford hesitation and uncertainty, save your highness.
It's been so long since I've left this palace. Grand Commandant, tell me, has the spring rain yet ceased in Bai Zhao?
The rain may stop whenever your highness desires. If your highness has changed your mind, you yet have time to stop them.
I'm exhausted. The Imperial Kitchen has prepared some babao soup and shredded bamboo shoots, if your highness desires. Very well. Oh, I had him kneeling. That was a nice effect. That was 40 years ago? Well, we might get an answer here, but for some reason they like mentioned Yin Wu, and if that's Wei Yin Wu, and they mentioned a baby being taken away, and it's a female. For a second, I was like, is it Chen? Because she's a lung. But she's not 40 years old, I don't think. Maybe she is. I don't think she is. I'd be surprised if she was. I'd put her more at 30-ish max. But she's probably like 20-ish. Or maybe she's actually 40. There. Don't cry. We're on our way home. We're almost there. Pick up the pace, please, if you could.
It's raining too hard, and I can't see too well. Couldn't go any faster at this rate.
How much further to the next station?
At least 30 li. Brother, just how urgent is your business that you'd bring your whole family along to travel on a night like this?
Please just go faster.
Whoa, what the heck? Who is that? Oh, what the?
Viennese exclamation.
There's somebody doing out. What's somebody doing out here in the wilderness at this hour?
The man looks around, but the endless rain blocks his view. It is too dark for him to see anything. It looked kind of like a steam night, but that doesn't make sense. I guess maybe the, I guess Yin have giant armored guys too? We'll get out here. Sir, I'll give you all my money I have to take your carriage to the next station. If anyone asks, do not tell them you carried passengers to the baby tonight. I beseech you, good sir.
What, huh? Where are you going in this weather?
We'll follow the paths through the northern woods. What is it? The baby. The baby's gone. Look at this guy.
It's her.
The baby is sleeping soundly in her cradle, oblivious to the mud and blood on her face.
I did everything you asked. I know their methods, and I know how to answer them. Don't worry. I won't allow any blood to stain you.
Hold on a second. All right.
Good sir. I have no way to repay your kindness.
Man with bloody hands. No. You need not thank me. I did not do this for you. She's done so much for me, yet what I do today will neither clear her name nor even begin to avenge her. I have no family and no affairs to settle after my death. I ask only one favor of you. Please take this girl in. You need not tell her anything. Just let her grow up and live her life in peace.
You know, if she stays here, it will be risky with greater responsibility that this old case will be reopened.
But isn't that what you want? We may be powerless to change the situation right now. But if one day, be it 3 or 4 decades later, the truth will be revealed, all the blood shall not have been shed in vain.
Right, then, I swear it.
That was a short intro. Wow. Are you sure you don't want to make it like another 30 minutes? Starting with a tutorial as well. Bitter gourd and wood ear. A refreshing appetizer made from bitter gourd and black fungus, seasoned with soy sauce, sugar, mature vinegar, and hot pepper, giving it a little of every flavor. No characters for this tutorial. Who needs them? Expletive. Are we fighting words in this in this event? Can use long-range attacks or weapons to attack sapidity. Hey Dusk, come lend a hand. Those things are on the loose here. Ah yeah, what a pain.
When 'tis a choice of life and death, why
And
shouldst thou lay
Jessica
down
and,
thy arms?
Hibiscus here for good measure. Breakfast. Spawns 1 sapidity when defeated. A new fella itching for a beating, huh?
I'll show them what I can do.
Expletive and breakfast. I didn't think it'd leave a sapidity behind. Smells tasty. Good time zone, Luigi. Anything exciting happening? The intro was less than an hour long. Can you believe it? Looks like it's drawn to the stove and will be absorbed right in when it gets close enough.
With the setting of the sun, the brush draws up the peaks. Copy the infinite with the tangible. Bring the intangible to life.
I also pulled both Blaze and you within the first, I think, 30 pulls? Maybe 40? I don't remember. So that was pretty exciting. At this rate, we'll get to turn the stove on soon and see some sapid auspice in action. And give me your luck. I will try and manifest as best I can. We're killing it. If we all just stood and watched like you did, they'll turn sapidity into vapidity. And the meal will be bland. I didn't think the derelict stove could draw those vapidity things too. Meh, just whack them a bunch of times and they'll turn back.
Too difficult to explain. Let me paint it for you.
They're just gonna eat it again. We gotta kill those guys over there. What are we doing? Yeah, right. If you can whack all of them in time, the derelict stove is about to unleash a vapid blight.
You'll pay for that.
Oh my goodness, that's a dragon. Just murdered everyone. That thing reeks of bad luck. Well, since we won't get hurt for real anyway, handle this yourself. Sheesh, so petty. Fine, just watch me. Oh, Santalia. I'd use the skill, probably.
I gotta waste my precious time on the likes of you third-rate amateurs.
It's time. Your tricks won't work here.
That'll do. Now let's cook. Summon Sapid Auspice to deal true damage to all enemies in its path. Oh, we summon our own dragon. Dragon versus dragon. Dueling dragons.
Mission accomplished.
Wasn't dueling dragons like a... That was a thing. What was that? What was that? Scallion tofu. I see that all the levels are just going to be named after food. Some of the enemies were food. Made from spring onions and tofu, it takes quite a bit of skill to give it the proper clean taste. This is the team I used to actually beat the Annihilation, the new Annihilation. I did beat that yesterday. Took a few tries though. It was pretty difficult actually. Mainly just because I was trying to remember how the water mechanics work. Well, let's set up the Yen team. We'll try out Uniplace's first skill.
Right price.
Of course.
I'm in.
Don't forget Zola.
I hope my meager assistance will prove fruitful.
I guess I should bring like Ling as well. Please a second skill though. Guess I'll bring Dusk. do I want to actually bring Dusk though? Not sure about that. Oh, but we can bring Nian. 3 defenders.
One thing's never gonna change with time. Swords will inevitably clash.
Very melee heavy this time around. Bring everyone, yeah, but Dusk is... I'm gonna have no snipers. You know what we need? We need a sibling who's a sniper. There's 8 classes. They could have done they could have done a sibling of every class. Instead, we have 3 defenders. I guess there's still room. Could still have 1 for every class.
Don't keep me too long.
I mean, G has to be a merchant if he's ever released, right? He has to be. He's literally a merchant. Check, please.
Wait a minute, I'm busy. Oh, all you ordered was a bowl of plain noodles. It's on the house.
Dang. I can get free noodles if I just order them plain? Come on. I'll leave the money on the counter, bye.
Thanks, come again.
Eating so little for lunch at that age, what gives? Too many colors blind the eyes, too many flavors dull the tongue. One must not indulge in the desire for food. Didn't you just eat one bowl of plain noodles? This is my 5th. I'm not like you. I prefer my food light and simple. I never add any seasonings when I eat. No salt, vinegar, chili, scallions, garlics, or spices at all. Wow. When I'm eating, I want to taste the food itself. But those other parts of it are food as well. If the basics are even slightly less than fresh, my taste buds will detect it instantly. Also, there's probably salt in the noodles to make the noodles. Judging by your Mandarin robes, you're a deputy minister with the Judicial Review Office, aren't you? Your tongue must be the greatest judge under heaven. You have a way with words. When next you feel you've been wronged, come find me at the Judicial Review Office. My name is Yu Cheng. I won't need to trouble your magisterial greatness with that sort of thing. I am but a humble officer of the Ministry of Rights. I'm not often wronged. Well, come see me anyway. I'll treat you to a bowl of noodles. What is your name, young man? I'm called Gu Chuen.
Hey, Zhang, I'm here. Coming. What'll it be today, Lou?
I'll have the usual. Any specials today?
Well, persimmons are in season. We also got a fresh batch of chestnuts today. You can either eat them raw, nice and crispy, or cooked, sweet and tender. How about stewed beast belly with chestnuts? And then some osmanthus flavored dried persimmon for dessert.
Nice, alright, I'll try that then. By the way, that sign we fixed for your restaurant a while back.
Oh, don't worry about it. I checked out with Chef. This meal is on the house. You've taken care of all of our complimentary work for the past few years. Treating you to a few meals is the least we can do.
You're too kind. He's really a great cook, the greatest under heaven. I'd say I can't find food this good anywhere. That wooden talisman I gave him, I meant it. It was too modest. He was too modest to accept the gift.
Come on, enough already. We're just a little old eatery. It's you who keeps us in business. You don't need to flatter us like that.
By the way, where is that young chef of yours? I didn't see him sitting outside and chatting with the guests today.
I didn't even bring him up. He's been skulking since early this morning. There's this famous food critic going around lately, taking advantage of the buzz from the Feast of 100 Delicacies, you know? I hear she's visiting all the hidden eateries in town, rating them one by one in the newspapers.
I know. I hear she published an article reviewing taverns in Baizhou. She's even writing a book. Says she wants to compile all the best recipes from Baizhou, past and present. She calls herself the Wandering Foodie or something like that. She's certainly ambitious. Baizhou has countless taverns, and these places have been making their dishes for generations. To write a book about them, she'll need a wealth of knowledge and a stomach big enough for all that food.
Exactly. But I hear the book she's working on, Baizhou Cuisine and Food Culture, already earned some praise from the head chefs of the 4 great restaurants, and none of them have anything bad to say about her reviews. Rumor has it she's dropping in here today.
Well, you have nothing to worry about with your chef's cooking. Even the harshest critic will have nothing to criticize, right? You know his temper. Whether the reviews are good or not, he can't stand people talking about his food.
He says he doesn't want to get into a cooking competition, but that's just because he's afraid he'll lose.
Alright, that's enough out of that. The only thing I'm worried about is people discovering this place, so I won't be able to get a table here anymore. Knock on wood. Oh, another customer. Wins. Hey, look, the two of you are coming right at this hour. We're right across from the Judicial Review Office. I guess it's kind of become your unofficial cafeteria.
If it wasn't for this restaurant, I would have resigned and moved home ages ago. Don't say such things. We have a duty. How could you think of resigning?
What's up? Why so serious?
It's the Feast of 100 Delicacies. Of course, the busiest time of the year for the office. I haven't had a good night's sleep in a month. Who can keep going like this? The precautions are necessary, though. There are so many tourists here now. If something bad were to happen, it'd be a disaster. No matter how careful we are, there's just too much going on. Something is bound to happen.
Hey, enough shop talk. Just enjoy the food.
You think we're talking about work just because we want to? Ugh. By the way, did you hear about the Di Feng Lo case?
The music stopped.
What case? If there's something to say, just say it. Why all the secrecy? I'm not trying to be secretive. This case is just downright eerie. On the 15th of last month, when Ding Feng Lo was busiest, every one of its 100 or so stoves were burning all day and late into the night. That night, one of the stoves caught fire, and the staff could not put it out. A handful of chefs were injured. The oranginium pipe sprung a leak, was it? That's nothing new. Well, the investigators couldn't determine whether the pipe had been tampered with or not. Hundreds of people have access to that kitchen. Who knows if someone did something? You must know that Ding Feng Lo is the most famous restaurant in Baizhou and the organizer of the feast. The thing that makes this incident particularly strange is that it happened on the 15th day of the month, and the fire started on the 100th stove. Some say they saw a strange silhouette amidst the flames.
Let's stick to the facts, yes? We don't need to fabricate things here.
I'm telling you the truth. Many people said they saw it.
The work you do at Judicial Review Office is pretty interesting. Listening to you talk about your cases like reading a detective novel.
Come now, we're hardly authors here. It's just that whenever a case drags on for a few weeks without progress, I have nightmares about it. Actually, now that you mention it, I also heard about a strange case recently. There's nothing supernatural about it, it's just plain weird.
Oh, another juicy story? Do tell.
I really shouldn't divulge too many details about this. You can't tease us like that. The suspense is killing me. This is a matter of great importance. The place where this incident occurred is truly significant. It was the Mr. Ning's Manor, former Minister of Rights. My Shifu has been investigating this case for a while now. I've only heard an overview. He won't tell me more. Mr. Ning has been retired for several years now. He's in the process of leaving Baizhou and moving back to his hometown in Jiangnan. But a few days ago, a strange thief broke into his mansion. Nothing was stolen, and no one was hurt, but in one of the guest rooms, there was a painting of a Xian hanging on the wall. Someone used melted honey to draw a line across the Xian's mouth. Of course, the mansion was heavily guarded, but the thief seemed to know the layout very well. And the thief, whether down to incredible skill or sheer experience, left no traces behind. My Shifu and the others have their hands full trying to crack the case. They've mentioned Xian before, and I can't I remember trying to look it up and not having a lot of... Oh yeah, here it is. Xian are the immortal beings of Taoism. Yeah, okay, that checks out.
Sealing the wet lips with honey, isn't that from the legend of the stove god? It ensures the stove god will say more good things than bad. The thief vandalized the painting but didn't steal anything of value. They don't care for money, so did they have some other motive?
Well, it sounds like you wouldn't call them a thief, you should call them a vandal.
What motive could they have had? Mr. Ning is an honorable mandarin. He has decades-long record of dutiful public service. Who could have an issue with him? Regardless, he's an important court mandarin. The ransacking of his manor is no small matter, especially at a time like this. It's our greatest fear come true.
Oh, hey, I just thought of something.
No, you scared me. What's the thought?
I just remembered that I also saw something weird a few days ago, right in this very restaurant. It was 3 days ago. I was here eating when a real strange customer walked in. He looked to be on the older side, and he was still wearing a prison outfit, as if he had just been released by the Judicial Review Office. He sat down and ordered 20 bowls of white rice, nothing else. He downed them in no time flat.
Sometimes you just need some rice.
That's all you're gonna eat? Oh, eating all that rice is bound to make you choke. Why don't we whip up 2 little entrees for you and a bowl of soup on the house?
No. It's Dao Hong rice, nice and fresh, the finest in the land. What other food could I possibly need? Probably some things with other vitamins, you know? It's filled my belly. I have no need for any free dishes. Check, please. After the funny fella finished eating, he grabbed all 20 empty bowls and walked out of the restaurant. He kept walking until he reached the Judicial Review Office. He threw the pile of bowls at the door of the office and yelled, "I'm the one who set the fire to the scullery." Well, I'm sure you know more about it than me, especially with my terrible memory. Who was that guy anyway? What happened to him in the end?
There's no way I could discuss something like that with you.
Shh. There are civilians at the table over there.
Don't worry about them. I heard that the lady's speaking Victorian. I think they're foreigners. They don't understand what we're saying anyway. Hey. Victorian tourist, question mark? In perfect Yanese. Now I'm gonna pull out my perfect Yanese here. Lao Bon Dien Ken. What does that mean? I wonder. Dian Sen. I said Ken, Sen, Ken, something like that. Diansan is how you order a meal at a restaurant. And the first thing that comes with Lao Ban is Lao Ban dumplings, so I don't know if that's a type of dumpling. No, it means shop owner. I guess she was grabbing the waiter's attention, I guess. But there is a thing called Lao Ban dumplings as well, so that might just be a brand. That might just be a brand. I'm now giving free advertisement. You're welcome.
Red silk special, mala tofu, soft yellow shells, autumn casserole, and jade surprise. And that's all she ordered. Is she trying to challenge us? She seems very polite. She just looked at the menu and picked out these dishes. Doesn't it look like she was asking for trouble? Do you think she might be that food critic? The one who wrote Buys How Cuisine and Food Culture? That kind of food critic comes in and orders nothing but tofu. Relax, chef, relax. You know how things are going here, business-wise. The future of our restaurant hinges upon this very moment. You have to do your best. The dishes must be flawless.
The Victorian woman pulls up a chair and 2 jugs of wine and sits at the table with the 2 mandarins and the Judicial Review Office. She casually pours each a glass of wine. Its rich, sweet aroma soon fills the table. Please drink and enjoy. This wine was meant for sharing. Aye, so what happened next? What became of the weirdo who threw the empty rice bowls? Good lady, what you just heard was nothing more than idle diners' chatter. Whatever you do, please do not share it with anyone else. But you haven't finished the story yet. Where's the cliffhanger? Where's the stay tuned for the next episode? I'm a mandarin of the Judicial Review Office, madam. I'm not a storyteller in a tea house. What a coincidence. I have a good friend who works here too. And here I was thinking everybody at the Judicial Review Office was stuffy, pretentious, and tight-lipped. Dear madam, have you come to Yen all by yourself? Are you here on vacation? Let's not be all so formal. My Yenese name is Huang, or Blaze in Victorian. Really? Okay, fair enough. So her code name was just her name the entire time. And yes, I guess you could say I'm here on vacation. I haven't met many Victorians who speak Yenese as well as you do. Have you lived in Yen previously? Yeah, actually no. But I'm not 100% Victorian. My father is Yenese. Three rules, you say? Yes. If you can't follow these rules, I won't be able to take you back to Bai Zhao.
Okay, lay them on me. First, be wary of strangers. Do not, of your own volition, take actions that are unnecessary. What do you take me for? 3-year-old? I know that. What else? Second, do not tell anyone that you are an infected. Do I really need you to tell me that? Third, do not, under any circumstances, tell anyone about your father. Okay. Blaze, you are an important witness in all these major cases, as well as an important piece of evidence. I need your cooperation, and in return, I will guarantee your safety.
What's that about your dad?
Yeah. I'm here to visit some family. I'm on vacation, haha.
Well, madam, you came at the perfect time. The Feast of 100 Delicacies is about to begin. All of Bai Zhao's restaurants compete to serve the best dishes. This is the time of year when you can try the tastiest food.
Really? Do you have any Bai Zhao delicacies you can recommend, or maybe a restaurant or two?
Bai Zhao doesn't have any signature dishes or Bai Zhao delicacies, as you put it. Instead, you'll find that every single dish you eat in Bai Zhao makes a delicacy. Okay.
Ah, that makes sense. I didn't make the connection until now that Bai Zhao means 100 stoves in Victorian.
How does it? Interesting name for city. You know what they say, to the people food is heaven. Yes, the name Bai Zhao, bestowed ages ago by the reigning True Lung, means to tend all cooking stoves under heaven. Later, someone says exquisite food demands meticulous preparation. The fine food doesn't just fill your stomach, it soothes your soul. There are different dishes for every season and every region. The best chefs, they have a wealth of knowledge and the power of the gods at their fingertips.
Please, let's eat. Enough fooling around with foreign tourists.
Order up! Do you have a special fondness for tofu, or...
These are tofu dishes. They have different names. I had no idea.
I'm not doing Blaze's voice right. Hopefully I'll figure it out again.
Who would have thought Yin had so many different kinds of tofu? Whatever. There's more than enough tofu for everyone. We'll enjoy it all together. Isn't that the custom here in Yin, after all?
Alright, let's dig in.
What's this? I don't remember ordering a dessert.
Elegant woman. Did you send out the food, and does she like it? Actually, she didn't really eat that much. She gave most of it away to other customers. Settle down, she might be feeling out the ambiance, you know.
Just calm down. Let's see what happens.
So what's this feast of 100 delicacies you keep talking about? You may speak fluent Yanese, madam, but there are clearly gaps in your knowledge of our culture. The Feast of 100 Delicacies happens every year in mid-autumn, when the True Lung convenes meetings with mandarins at all levels to discuss state affairs. If it's just a bunch of government meetings, why is it called the Feast of 100 Delicacies? Now that has a beautiful origin story. Many years ago, the True Lung, at that time, held a birthday banquet, and all the mandarins presented him with gifts, including all manner of rare treasures from all across Yen. But there was one mandarin, a young assistant minister from the Ministry of Revenue, who gave the True Lung a bowl of pearl jade soup. The True Lung lifted the lid of the bowl, only to find a clump of rotten cabbage leaves and a scant few grains of brown rice floating in some water. The True Lung was enraged, demanding, "What is the meaning of this?" The assistant minister replied, "There was a flood in Jiangxi this year, so we had the terrible harvest. What you see in the bowl here is what the peasants have been eating every day." Speaking up for what's right, that's what any good mandarin should do. Still, doing it to the True Lung's face on his birthday like that takes some serious guts. Yes, the surprising thing is the True Lung did not punish the young mandarin. He praised him in order that all the other mandarins follow his example in advocating for the people. The True Lung ordered cuts to the court budget and used those funds for disaster relief. He built embankments to guard against future floods, and Jiangxi was saved.
Yes, the following year, the mandarins presented the True Lung with a bowl of sumptuous fortune soup to show him that the fineries were thriving. In the summation, the annual banquet became a tradition called the Feast of 100 Delicacies. Every year during the Mid-Autumn Festival, and all restaurants in the city served dishes from the traditional 100 Delicacies menu, welcoming all the people to join in the celebration. Oh, the Yennies really know their food, don't they? This little shop here is a great example. It may look ordinary, but it serves top-notch eats. Just look how many different types of tofu they can make amazing. Then again, these cakes here, they taste different to the ones I've had before, and not in a good way. I think something's not quite right with them. Music stopped. Why has everyone gone silent? I had a feeling the grumpy voice was you, but I was still giving him a more grumpy voice on purpose. Was it you? You're the one criticizing my food. Instead of bringing Dusk, I might bring Lazy, because I haven't used her in years, and they're probably on par in combat capacity. Combat capability, even.
You'll get what you deserve. I mean, what you ordered. Patience, friend. Heat control is everything.
What does this one do? Selects an operator with the highest HP and deals damage to enemies around that character.
Step right up and taste my fireball's power! Better run faster before my fire swallows you whole!
Tough to swallow, huh? Try to behave yourself next time. Quickly! The spare ribs have been stewing for so long they're falling apart!
At least two are doing great on their own.
Daybreak? That's my boiling blood turning the horizon red!
Mission accomplished.
What do you want to show me? Pick up the pace a little. I'll be there soon. If you walk in the snow by the stream, the fragrant plum blossoms are rare. However, you can find them at the base of the mountain. I suppose the view of the fireworks against the city skyline from atop the mountain could be the only thing worth climbing all the way up here. Fireworks? Who cares about those? I brought you here to see this pine tree. An evergreen. It can withstand the cold weather. No, that's not what's special about it. I planted this tree myself right before I assumed my post in Baizhou. Back then, I had the same mindset as you. After all these years, I'm a different person now, and this tree is a different tree. I don't understand. That doesn't matter. All you need to do now is look at the tree and print it in your memory. Qingyan, you will do well in the Judicial Review Office. You will go on to be an excellent deputy minister, or maybe a minister yourself. Those cases will not be a problem for you. There's really only one issue that you'll need to focus on. Will you be able to handle the truth? I don't understand. You don't need to understand now. Every once in a while, you'll think back on this pine tree. Once you've spent enough time contemplating the tree, you will understand the rest. After I die, cut down the tree. Use its wood to fashion my coffin. Mr. Yu. We should be going. The higher you climb, the colder it gets. Years of wind and snow, moments fleeting like blossoms in the morning and evening light. Once more I think back to the pine tree and the mountain path buried in snow. Yu Chung, what penalty do you propose to atone for your guilt? Snoring softly. What time is it? Has the suspect confessed yet? Censor Jin, I guess actually Jin.
This is a serious matter. Please mind your words and behavior.
Unless J is not J. See, romanization of Chinese is so confusing. I think J is actually Cha. And then ZH is Ja. But sometimes Ja. Depending. I guess G is actually Chi. S? Probably changes though for different roles, who knows. Is this the routine internal matter for the Judicial Review Office? The Department of Discipline and Supervision is just going through the motions. It's not that big of a deal. However, this trial today certainly has been interesting. The minister is usually quite well tempered. I've never seen her that angry before. Whoa. What are you? Maybe another, maybe the same thing as lazy? Forget what they're called. Although lazy doesn't have, and her ears are just pointed, aren't they? This person has animal ears. But they both have horns as well. I'm not sure. Who knows? Who knows what the creature this person is? You, Chen. You have served in the Judicial Review Office once. You took an oath before the Bronze Mirror. Do you really think the Judicial Review Office is the proper place for you to act like a spoiled brat? They all wear the same cloak. Yeah, they're all the same ministry. I meant their race.
This is an unjust accusation. You asked me all that you need to ask, and I answered them. What else would you have me do? On the 15th of last month, around 1:45 a.m., someone set fire to the southern end of the Judicial Review Office scrollery. That person was me.
Oh, interesting.
Liar. When the fire broke out, you were in pre-trial detention. How could you have started it? If you planned the fire, you had help. Name your co-conspirator.
I had no co-conspirator. However, I did have a helper. A foul beast. That night, a wounded foul beast landed by the window of my cell. I fed it a few grains of rice and some fresh water. The foul beast was quite intelligent. I saved it, and it was willing in return the favor. I gave it a burning straw and told it to fly to the scrollery.
What?
Oh, that was Jay.
You, Cheng. The courtroom has no time for your games.
I'm not playing games. Ask me anything and I will answer truthfully.
Very well. You say you started the fire. Elaborate on that, if you will. What species of foul beast was it that you used?
Do I look like a foul beast expert? I only remember that it was completely black without a single stray hair. As black as a human heart.
You said you gave the foul beast a burning straw. You were locked in a cell. Where did you get the straw?
I picked it out of my sleeping cushion.
Your cushion was made of cotton.
Then my memory is mistaken. It must have fallen in from the foul beast's nest.
The guards did a full search of your cell after the fire. Did not find any foul beast's nest.
If criminals didn't try to cover their tracks, we wouldn't need the Judicial Review Office or the Ministry of Justice, would we? That foul beast truly understood human nature.
Ah, you.
Oh, right. As for how I lit the straw in the first place, I struck the metal bars, these iron shackles, exactly 863 times, one for each year of the Judicial Review Office's existence. That is as much detail as I can provide in the fire. Will it do? Madam Minister, do you have any more questions for me? It seems that he has been reading some fanciful stories since his retirement.
This is no time for jokes.
Well, she had the patience to play along with him and indulge his insanity. Do you want to enter this line into the record?
Of course.
You always enter every line into the record. Interesting. Yu Chung was once appointed Deputy Minister for the Judicial Review Office's Hua-Run Pavilion. There, he took down countless corrupt mandarins and notorious criminals. However, after his retirement, you convicted him of fabricating evidence, which is how he ended up here. As you think back now, do you regret your choice, Deputy Minister Lin?
The law is the law. It bends to no man. Stop trying to stir up trouble, Censor Che.
But when we look at it, Yu Chang's behavior is quite odd. When he was charged with fabricating evidence, he did not question it or protest. Now, after he's been convicted, he decides to start a fire?
That's not right. I still have questions. Yes, Deputy Minister Lin.
Lin Chengyin puts down her pen and paper and happens to meet Yu Chung's gaze. The prisoner, who has been pretending to be insane, is now staring at her intently. She wants to know the truth. She does not fear revealing herself in the process. Yu Chung seems pleased with Qingyin's reaction. He closes his eyes as an ugly grin crosses his face.
Deputy Minister Lin, as acting clerk, you need only take notes. Minister Chun, there is one question you haven't asked. Yu Cheng's claims he set the fire. What was his motive? The suspect's confession is clearly nonsense. Why bother asking his motive?
I'm the one who set the fire to the scrollery. You must believe me. As for why I did it...
Yu Cheng, there are 74,000 case files in the southern section of the scrollery. the result of 60 years of painstaking effort and hard work of 24 deputy ministers, and you saw fit to turn it to ash. Yu Cheng suddenly droops his head. He remains silent for what seems like ages. The minister's eyes remain fixed on him, watching his every move.
As far as I see it, it was no great loss. Those files are filled with half-truths, whitewashed fabrications, and outright lies. Gazing upon them dirties the eyes. Thinking of them taints the mind. So I thought it best to cleanse it all in flames.
Cleanse. Just what are you trying to say?
What I'm trying to say? If you keen to know, then let's have a discussion. That which I burned, was it clean or dirty?
Minister Chen, the suspect is clearly suffering from some sort of mental disease. It's getting late. Shall we conclude the questionings for today?
Escort Yu Cheng back to his cell. I truly regret that we subjected the Department of Discipline and Supervision to this circus here today.
It is truly a vexing case, we understand.
The Judicial Review Office will be sure to submit a full explanation to the Department of Discipline and Supervision.
I just hope this can be solved quickly, so I don't have to make so many trips here. You have planted way too many camphor trees in the courtyard. They're making me sneeze. I shall take my leave now, Deputy Minister Lin. See you.
You should be off too, Lin Qingyan.
The courtroom door swings open. As sunlight pours in once more, Lin Qingyan immediately spots the 7 towers with 18 pointed roofs hidden in the shadows of the trees. The Judicial Review Office scrollery was all built in this style. The roofs of the towers seem to be covered in ash, the remnants of the burned southern section. Just as she is about to step out of the door, she hears a faint voice.
Lin Qingyan, it's almost time. Do not forget.
Lin Qingyan steps out into the cold sunlight without even hesitating.
Achoo.
Censor Che Jin. Or Jun. You're still here.
I was waiting to have a chat with you for a minute. It's not convenient to talk in there. If you still want to investigate Yu Cheng's case, you'd better move quickly. After the Feast of 100 Delicacies is over, all prisoners detained in Bai Zhao will either be transferred to another prison or exiled. In any case, the cells must be emptied within 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
The Imperial Decree should reach you shortly. I just spotted it earlier, so I'm giving you a heads up.
And here I thought you didn't care much for these things.
It is within my power to avoid caring, but you cannot get it out of your head. Yu Cheng is very important to you, isn't he?
He was kind of like my teacher in the Judicial Review Office. Just the one who taught me to distinguish right from wrong. When I first discovered that he had fabricated evidence to convict a corrupt mandarin, well, I shrugged it off as using any means necessary to achieve justice. However, I never imagined he'd set fire to the scrollery. There's absolutely no justice in that.
Indeed, I can't figure him out.
But it does provoke a question. They've never emptied the jails of the feast before. Why do it this year?
This matter will not concern you directly, but I'm sure you've heard something about it. Human experienced a catastrophe at the beginning of the year. Then this summer we suffered the Dao Huang incident. And what was the root cause of all of this?
The bestial Sui. This 1,000-year-old case must finally be resolved.
I dare not engage in presumptuous speculation. This is as much as I can say for now.
Doshe. Censor Che Jun. Why did you terminate the ongoing interrogation?
As the saying goes, words may deceive, so trust your eyes. I wager you haven't seen the burned scrollery yet.
No, I have not.
Perhaps you'd better go see for yourself. I will take my leave. Yeah, if Lazy's gonna be a character in this, I definitely have to have her on the team. The restaurant that there's no silent at all. Just made up that word. This restaurant, which was loud and boisterous just a moment ago, goes completely silent. Never mind, I didn't make it up. The regulars anticipate what is to come. File out the diner one by one. Of course, they remember to leave money for their meals. Great time to give her backstory. I've been waiting for years. Ever since she first showed up in Lungman. Wearing her cool hood.
Zhang, close the door.
Oh.
What? What happened? Zhang wasn't she just eating these tangerine cakes here?
Yeah, she was.
And didn't you tell me she was criticizing the taste?
Oh no, she said they taste different, not bad, just different. Winking vigorously.
I guess you'd call it criticism. They're not exactly orthodox, different from what I had before. So you're the head chef? Pretty young, aren't you? Don't change the subject. I was just critiquing the food. It's not a capital offense. Besides, I thought the rest of the dishes were awesome. Now you're on to flattery. This is my restaurant, and I have my rules. You either tell me what's wrong with the tangerine cakes, or I won't let you leave.
Can you do that?
I already told you. They taste different to the ones I've had before. Where and when did you eat them before? Oh, maybe more than 10 years ago when I was living in Victoria. A relative sent them to me. Did you come to stir up trouble? Zhang, escort her out.
Oh, no, we're not in the habit of kicking customers out of the restaurants. Good madam, think for a minute. What exactly is it about these cakes that taste different? Maybe this is all some kind of misunderstanding.
Let me think. I remember the tangerine cakes I had before were sweeter. Yes, you must not have used enough sugar. The tangerine cakes need more sugar. To think I took you for a food critic. You are a woman with absolutely no taste. I won't waste my time arguing with you. Please leave. You say I have no taste, then when the real problem is your cooking?
Keep digging the hole. Oh no.
My cooking, you say? Don't make me laugh. My cooking, my culinary talent, my... Alright then, I'll make you a bet. get out this door here and sample the food at some other restaurants. If you find a better tasting meal, I'll give you this entire shop.
Wow, that's crazy. Oh, please no.
But if you can't find better food, you have to sit at this table by the window and shout out to the streets.
Shout what?
Apologize to me 100 times. And what would I want with your restaurant? Let's do this instead. If I find food that tastes better, then you'll let me eat here for a month free, and you'll teach me how to cook a few of the tasty dishes in Chinese cuisine free of charge. Huh? There's an old Yini saying, give a man a fin and you'll feed him for a day, teach a man to fin catch, and you'll feed him for a lifetime. The restaurant, when I leave, I can't take it with me. If you teach me how to cook a few tasty dishes, I can cook them with my friends. But weren't you just criticizing my cooking? I told you all your other dishes taste great. Wait a moment. Don't think you can just trick me like that. You still need to discuss the tangerine cakes. Okay, then I'll take your bet. Now I can find tangerine cake. I know I can find tangerine cake somewhere in Baizhou that tastes like the ones I had before. Huh. What's that weird smell?
Oh, I think it's coming from back in the kitchen.
I know that smell. It's like something that was overcooked. My stew.
Dear customer, I apologize. Our head chef has a bad temper and is easily offended. Please come again, alright?
Yeah, pretty weird.
No, she didn't leave.
I've heard that skilled chefs tend to be eccentric. In fact, I'd bet the reason he was able to become a good chef was precisely because he takes his food so seriously. Did you notice that each of the 5 tofu dishes you ordered had tofu cut in a different way, yet every piece of tofu within each dish was exactly the same size and shape? I don't think many chefs in Baizhou could accomplish that.
You overheard our argument?
Sorry, I wasn't eavesdropping. You were just within earshot. You were all having such fun sharing your dishes amongst yourselves. Well, I believe you accidentally took the plate of tangerine cakes that I ordered.
Oh, sorry about that. Wouldn't tell me I was taking someone else's food and then having a fight with the chef over it. You wait here, I'll order you some more straight away.
No, there's no need for that. I came here today to try the food. After seeing how much you all enjoyed it, well, I figure it must be good enough. After all, I'm still a little curious. What exactly did you not like about the tangerine cakes?
I can't really put my finger on it, but I guess I just know I've eaten better ones before.
Are you sure the dish you ate before was indeed tangerine cakes?
Of course. One of my relatives lived in Baizhou and would ship me these cakes. There's no way I'd be wrong, I'm sure.
May I trouble you with a request then? You're going out to look for another restaurant that serves these tangerine cakes, right? Can you take me with you?
Sure, you're from Baizhou, right? That's perfect. You know your way around these parts. Then again, it's getting kinda late. Let's meet here again tomorrow at noon. What do you say?
Certainly.
Alright, by the way, my name is Blaze. I'm a tourist from Victoria. How should I call you?
I am a woman of few hobbies. I like to write, and I like to eat. My pen name is The Wandering Foodie. In any case, you may call me Xingju, for short.
Interesting that her robe has a tail hole. I wouldn't think you'd need one for a robe, since that usually drapes over your whole body, you know?
Such a trove of knowledge. Those wonderful archives. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
The dark space still has a lingering, acrid smell. On the collapsed beams of iron wood, murky raindrops tremble, ready to fall. The iron chest that once held so many records and books have been warped and twisted by the flames. The paper and ink within have smoldered into ash, leaving only faint traces of words. Do not linger too long. Rain showers after a fire send smoke into the air.
What have we learned so far?
We have determined this to be arson. The absurd part, the fire's time and location match Yu Qing's confession perfectly. The scrollery was heavily guarded. And I'm giving him a new voice for some reason. I think. The scrollery was heavily guarded, yet on the night of the fire, I think it was more like that, the night of the fire, the guards didn't notice anything. Not only was the perpetrator highly skilled in kung fu, but they also had intimate knowledge of the Judicial Review Office's layout. They must have been working with Yun Chung for quite some time.
You're saying you think this was an inside job?
We cannot be certain.
How bad was the damage?
All records that were burned were from old cases, which has little effect on our current work. However, if these cases were to ever be reviewed to the future, there would be no evidence to go on. Nearly all these cases were Yun Chung's responsibility.
Do you really believe that Yu Chung was the one who burned the scrollery?
Oh, absolutely not. No matter what nonsense he spouts, he was in prison when the fire broke out. There's no way he could have done it himself. However, I'm sure he's been involved in some way. He's working with someone else.
What did he mean when he suggested the files were dirty?
Is there something else on your mind?
Do you still remember the last case Yu Chung investigated before he retired?
How could I forget? Well, 40 years ago, the Ministry of Justice was stabbed in the street. The assassin turned out to be a mad beggar. The Judicial Review Office did everything in their power to uncover the man's identity to no avail. In the end, they classified the murder as a random spur-of-the-moment act of violence.
But nearly 30 years later, Yu Chung accused the sitting Minister of Rights, Ning Chu, of being the murderer.
I worked with Yu Chung for many years. I know him better than anyone. However, in his last few years at the office, he began to change. Something radicalized him. He began doing whatever it takes to catch criminals. He even started fabricating evidence to close cold cases and settle old scores.
If the accusations against him were baseless, then why did Minister Ning resign?
Well, what do you mean?
Do you still remember Zhu Chuan?
Or Gu Chuan? Oh, that was Chen Che this whole time. I was thinking it was the other guy. Gave them the wrong voice this whole time. The other guy was Che something. Che Jun. This person is Chun. Chun Cha, actually? I guess Chun Cha? Oh well.
It all began with Gu Chuan, serving as the envoy of ceremonial rites, died en route to Victoria. Yu Chung believed that Minister Ning murdered the Minister of Justice and then killed an important witness in the case 30 years later. But that's the absurdity. The envoy had only just taken office. How could he have been connected to a case from 30 years prior? Moreover, the envoy's manner, place, and time of death were all clearly established. He drowned near the Victorian border. How could the Minister of Rights have orchestrated his death all the way from Baizhou? The Judicial Review Office recorded Gu Chuan's death in the case files. The files are somewhere in this pile of ash that lays before you. Why raise these two cases now? Do you think they are connected to the fire somehow? I would call it a hunch. Yu Cheng's confession has drawn our attention, but clearly, there's some kind of larger scheme behind the fire. The real question isn't who set the fire, but the arsonist's ultimate goal. Would you hand this case over to me? No. On what grounds? Yu Cheng asked you to take notes during his trial. That is why you stand here now. It is also the reason I cannot allow you to participate any further. Whether Yu Cheng's death, or whatever Yu Cheng's plan, you are most certainly a part of it. I know you regard him as a mentor, and couldn't bear to see his reputation tarnished, but I will assign someone else to investigate the fire. Rest assured, we will get to the bottom of this. What about the cases that Yu Cheng once investigated? You'd best forget about those. No matter what you intend to investigate, it is simply not a good time. Why do you say that? Lin Qingyan, you are the Deputy Minister of the Judicial Review Office, not some patrolman. Every case you handle has a ripple effect. Your so-called act of justice may very well become a dagger in the hands of those with ulterior motives. And so you know what's really going on with these cases, don't you? Stay away from Yu Cheng's cases. That is my suggestion. Do not force me to make it in order. Oh, and I have one final piece of advice. You must learn to prioritize. The past is never as important as the present. The young deputy minister is still standing in the same spot. He walks down the path that's been cleared through the rubble, through the place that once held so many case files. The arsonist's motive is clear. He never wanted those files to see the light of day. Whether Yu Cheng fabricated evidence or not, all available clues in both cases point to Ning Shu. But why would the Minister of Rights assassinate another high-ranking Mandarin? She bends down and brushes aside a charred beam, revealing a hint of green emerging from the ashes. It's a pine tree. Yu Cheng, you...
I planted this tree myself right before I assumed my post in Baizhou. After I die, cut down the tree. Use its wood to fashion my coffin. Lin Qingyan. It's almost time. Do not forget.
Oh, this month's water bill is 2,000, and electricity is 2,500, while ingredients cost
Go do your accounting somewhere else, please. I can't stand your buzzing in my ear.
According to my calculations, if you can come up with another 3,000, we'll be able to keep the doors open past this month.
And where am I going to dig out that coin?
There are ways to do it, like the 2 months' meals owed by Wong and the carpenter. Or you can visit shopkeeper Liu across the street and ask him for a balance he owes for last month's funeral banquet. Collect enough of those outstanding debts and we'll have what we need to make it through the month.
That's less than ideal, isn't it? Customers on credit are in a tough spot. Going up to them and calling in the debt right now feels awkward to say the least.
You want to play the good guy? Why every time the rent collector comes calling do you ask me to deal with him?
You're big-boned. Even if the rent collector is angry, he won't take you into a fight.
Maybe there's another way. Ding Feng Lo is coming here again today to hand out invitations to the competition. They're hiring chefs in preparation for the Feast of 100 Delicacies. If you can manage to win the competition, the prize money alone will be enough to pay our rent through the end of the year.
No way, no how. I am a proud owner of the head chef of Savers at Yu's. How could I stoop so low as to work for someone else?
This is no ordinary cook. The head chef of Ding Feng Lo doesn't take apprentices. But even a casual demonstration provides enough to keep most chefs learning for 3 to 5 years. Plenty of people dream of working under him. Never get the chance. Besides, it's for the Feast of 100 Delicacies. The menu is recorded every year and passed down through generations. This is a lifelong dream of countless chefs.
Those who want to attend are free to go. I shall not.
Are you scared?
I'm not scared. You're scared. Huh. What Feast of 100 Delicacies? It's nothing more than a group of old gray hairs hosting a big dinner party. All they ever talk is politics. They don't even have a chance to eat. It's a waste of time.
Just listen to your arrogance. You talk as if you've been there in person.
I've catered so many banquets, they're all the same.
You won't take any of my suggestions. I guess we're just gonna have to let this restaurant fail then. Good grief, with a boss like you, I've gotta start making new career plans.
Okay. If it's just another 3,000 we need, I'll start making extra deliveries each day through the end of the month.
Have you no ambition? As a chef, don't you want your restaurant to do well? I'm not even sure why you opened it in the first place.
People need to eat, which means there has to be someone to cook for them. As long as we have customers who want to eat my food, this restaurant will do just fine. More importantly, I promised I'd wait for a certain customer, and that one still hasn't shown. I can't close the shop yet.
What customer? Who do you need to wait for?
It's just not the time yet. A great stew demands patience. You have to add in the ingredients at just the right time. There's no need to rush.
What's this thing? I can't get any channels. I want to watch the news. Hey, you're back.
Indeed.
What have you learned? I brought some food for you. I found a new restaurant today. The kitchen stinks to high heaven. The cooking's pretty solid. Oh right, there's this one thing. Today I found these snacks that my dad once sent me a long time ago.
Who gave you permission to leave your room as you please?
Seriously? I've been living off takeout for 3 days straight. I just wanted to go out and grab a bite to eat. Is that not allowed?
How many times have I told you? Your identity and status are extremely important. Your current situation is deadly tenuous. Are you taking this seriously or not? Lin Chengyan, are you off your rocker? We already established the 3 rules. No one said I was confined to my room. I had a good life back at Rhodes Island, then you showed up and told me my father's death was suspicious, without giving any details. And I came all the way here to Baizhou, the place where my dad used to live, and you still haven't told me anything. You've made me stay in this room, day after day, and now you have that gall to yell at me? That is... Forgive me. I should have not scolded you. The current situation is not as I anticipated. What situation? Is there anything I can do to help? I don't know. A lot of unexpected things happened in Baizhou before we arrived. If you would aid me, then simply do what you can to avoid danger. Understood. As for your father, I just happened to be handed that case a few years ago. The case was originally being handled by my predecessor, someone I trusted deeply. Your father seemed to have been spending a lot of time pursuing a certain truth in the last few years of his life. His death was suspicious. Every clue, we found hints that there were larger forces at work here. How large? We don't know for certain, nor can we even hope to guess. But your mere existence is the most important piece of evidence we have. Blaze, I vow to you I will find the truth, and once I do, I will tell you everything. However, until I do, I simply need you to trust me. I need you to cooperate with me. By the way, what were you saying about your father just now? I said I found these snacks that he used to send me a long time ago. And? They don't taste the same as they used to. Maybe it's just because I'm remembering wrong. The Yenis have sang for this, right? The situation remains the same, yet the people have changed? No, that's not quite right. The situation has also changed. Well then, a more apt saying would be, times change and with them, change all things. Too much time has passed. It'll be very hard for us to find any clues left from back then. But these are, in fact, one of the few things I found in Baizhou that relates to my father. When I lived with my mother in Victoria, my dad would send them to me from time to time. I figured that by the time I got my disease under control and figured out what I truly believed in, my dad would be back in Victoria, waiting for me to come home naive. Everyone longs for that sort of happy ending. And yet, by the time I found a place that could treat my oropathy and finish some of the things I had to do with the Bunny's crew, my dad was gone. Before you came and found me, I always thought my dad's death was an accident. That was sad, but there was nothing I could do about it. But if you're telling me my father was murdered, then there's an entirely different story. I need to learn the truth. I owe that to my father and myself. In all truth, I know very little about what happened to your father. Many of the old archives have been lost, and very little information can be extracted from what remains. Just from looking at the case files he left behind, we can see that your father worked as a ceremonial officer in the Ministry of Rites over 10 years, but never got promoted. It seems he was not well suited to serve in public office. However, to stay in a position like that for over a decade, he must have been a good person. Good people also die. She walks over to the window, closes her eyes, and rubs her temples. The faraway city lights are shimmering in the twilight.
The years of wandering are long over. People today are moving from one stage of life to the next as the city guides them and runs right behind them. Many boundaries are blurred, many high walls become thoroughfares, many hurried footsteps pass over the paving stones. Not everyone is qualified to etch their name to the annals of history.
We've won a lot of times before, Doctor. Here and now, though, we're struggling for our own destiny, our own future. That's the real fight, isn't it?
Yum yum, it's just bowls of rice.
Doctor, come over here for a bit. Let's see. The crops cultivated in Jiangxi this year are indeed taller than a man.
Well, that's where we'll stop for today. The intro was short, but the outro was very long. Yeah, good to see Lazy or Lynn. As I thought Lazy was her name, but I guess not. Pretty sure they referred to her in maybe that was when she was at Rhode Island, I don't know. Now I'm curious what lazy means. But we'll pick this up tomorrow. Happy 5.5 anniversary Arknights. Happy 5.5 anniversary. Actually, let me see if they're so the trivia page usually says, so the trivia page for her name says that her code name is a reference to the third of the 24 solar terms in the Chinese calendar, and also the English name is a reference to Empress Lei Zhu, who was originally mistaken believed as the goddess of lightning in mythology. That checks out. Lei Zi, due to similar pronunciation as Lei Zhi. I don't know. This is English name reference. Well, I guess she's named after the goddess of lightning, which Makes sense, considering. Anyway. We'll be back with continuation tomorrow. Till then, may the sands of time treat you well.